Hello, everybody, and welcome to December Daily 2023. This is story number 1. My name is Allie Edwards, and I am super excited to be here with you throughout the month of December, sharing my ideas for documenting stories from your life over the course of the month. I have other videos up available on, excuse me, on YouTube and here and on my blog where you can see my starting place. You can see my table of contents, which is here. I'm going to be doing a little bit of that today. I have my big fun shaker pocket. I have my reason why, which is colorful, festive fun. I have a little bit more of my intentions laid out here for what I am hoping to focus on this year. And then I have some of my day one already set up and ready. So we have got videos that show you how I put that together in advance. So today, for my story number 1, I simply needed to figure out, what did I want to put on the back here? Did I want to have a photo in this space, or did I want to do a circle photo? Did I want to have my journaling here? Did I want it to spread over into this page? But I'm pretty sure, after I thought about it a little bit, what I am doing, or I already know because I've already got it ready here, is I am writing a letter to December. So I loved doing some of this in advance, setting out my intentions. And now, as I begin December, as I'm actually living on December 1st, I had a few things that I wanted to say about the time leading up to today. So that is what my journaling is going to be. I picked a photo of myself setting up the tree. This also happened pre-December. So remember that even though we call this project December Daily, your stories can come from any time over the course of the season. My idea, or the way that I like to do it, is telling one story per day. So the story that I'm choosing to tell today includes some references and content to things that happened in November, including this photo was taken in November. So this photo measures, which I cropped and edited in Photoshop. This photo measures about 5 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall, and that is going to be trimmed and cut to fit on top of this half circle. So let's just pull this page out. This is going to be the base of today's story. My idea here, you can see I don't have any embellishments figured out at this point in time, so I'll decide on that as we go along here. But the first thing that I'm going to need to do is trim my photo to the size of the half circle. I'm just going to mark on here. I'm going to use a pen and mark where that was originally, because I can just gently pull it off. I didn't attach it with anything more specific. I did use red line tape, and it doesn't really matter if it rips it just a little bit. Generally, I don't have to take apart some of the pages, but this time, because of that I want to have this be the exact same size. So I took that apart. I know exactly where it's going to go back. I'm also going to be punching my journaling out of this circle. I do have a video for you also that shows you how to do text in a circle in Photoshop. And so that will be shared as well. But let's go ahead. So what I want to do here is I'm going to line it up along the outside edge, and then I'm just going to use my scissors to cut this out, and then that will be on the top side. So since I know, actually, we don't want to stick too hard on there. Let's see. Since I know that I'm going to use the outer edge, the long edge here, I'm just going to trim that on my trimmer, and then we'll get the rest of it going here. And I think what I'm going to do, this is the part where there is some rolling adhesive on there. I think I'm just going to, this is kind of weird, but I'm going to stick some sticky notes on there to try to cover up some of that stickiness, just so that it doesn't attack my photo here. Okay. And if you want, before you cut, you can cut this with an X-Acto knife. You can cut it with scissors. I think I'm just going to put a little bit of washi tape on there to hold it in place while I cut around the edges there. Cut around that circle part. Okay, so no matter what you have in if you did any foundation pages or you're just starting out today, writing a letter to December is a great way to begin your album. For me, it was just approaching December 1st and being able to think about, who am I? who am I right now as I get ready to experience this year's December? I wanted to document a little bit about the things that I had done around the house. This is one of the first years where I decorated really early, and I'm feeling really happy about that this year. Because I wanted that part to be done so that I could just enjoy the season and give myself a little more freedom and space by having that already done. So that's a little bit of what I wrote about in my journaling, which I think is a nice reminder that the stories that we tell can come just from inside of ourselves too, of things that we're thinking, or things we're thinking about or we're remembering. Okay, a couple notes on this photo. In a perfect world, my tree would not be crooked. But that's okay. That is okay. And also, see, you can see where there's I do have the adhesive, and that's probably from sitting on there too. Let's see, do we want to, a couple things we can do. Let's talk through this. We can reprint that. I think I'm probably just going to leave it, and maybe sometimes mistakes like that lead me to creative solutions, right? Let's see, this part's going to go on here. Let's just figure this out for a second. Actually, let's just punch this and see where. So this again is there. I've got another video up for you guys. It's going to show you how to do this in Photoshop. This is a 3.5-inch circle. I have a circle punch here that's going to punch that exact size out. Super easy steps in Photoshop and or Photoshop Elements, so that you can learn how to do this if you like the look of this. And simply punching it out. There is my text. Okay, so see, I still have to work to deal with these guys right here, which is the adhesive. So that's just a problem I'm going to have to figure out. Here's my journaling. I've been excited. Dear December. That's what I'm going to put over here in some way or another. I have been excitedly awaiting your arrival this year for no other reason than I'm ready for the twinkling magic of the month. This year I had so much fun decorating our house early and doing some Christmas crafting before December even started. The tree is up, the house lights are on, there's garland above the windows, there's hot cocoa and marshmallows ready for anyone that wants it. I've got a list of movies to rewatch and firewood ready for the fireplace. I wanted to feel settled in and give myself more opportunities for savoring and rest during the actual month of December. So here I begin this year's storytelling adventure. Okay, so you may have just done your reason why a couple days ago, and maybe your reason why is similar to this. My reason why, covered some other things that I wanted to include. So this one gives a nod to some of the things that I've done already. All right, so I did want to see if sometimes a eraser like this will take some of that off, or I just might end up reprinting it. See what happens. Actually, I already have one printed. I already have a second one printed. So let's try that and see what happens, because now I covered up the adhesive that was on the circle. These are the things that we all deal with as we are crafting stuff, right? Okay, so now I've got it covered up on there. We'll just go through the steps again. Here we are, you guys. I know you guys are excited to be back for the daily December, Allie's daily December adventures, December daily adventures in storytelling and crafting. Here we go. Okay, so let's cut this out again. Round 2. That is a perfect example, too, of why I really like printing at home and having the flexibility of printing at home when I make a mistake. Or I change my mind, or I want to, fix something again, or, whatever sort of thing may come up. There's always something that comes up. But printing at home makes that really simple for me. Okay. All right, now I have no adhesive bugging me. Yes, much more satisfied. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use rolling adhesive. I get my rolling adhesive from scrapbook.com. I love it. Works great. The rolling adhesive. This is the yellow one. Okay. We're going to go around the outside here because we're just going to adhere this guy, my photo, right on top. And then I want to just double check my trim. Look back on the other side, see where I can kind of pull some of that off there. Okay, good enough. Now remember, part of the reason why I had that adhesive is on there is because this is where this thing is going to sit, right? It sits on top of there. That was something I had done previously. All right, I'm going to use my 6-hole punch to punch the hole so that it can go directly into the album. All right, now I'm ready to reconstruct this, right? And remember how I drew on here with my pen, so now we know right where it's going to go. So we can go ahead and just, oops, this is why I did red line tape on there last time. Okay, let's get some red line tape out. I'm gonna figure out where that needs to go. Oh, there's a little bit on there right now, okay. Yes, now what I need to do is I need to bring my album back over there because part of what I did on this is I wanted it to be in a specific spot. I wanted it to lay right on top of this guy and the other frame. So let's do that as we are coming in here. So I wanted to be able to have that right on top of there. Let's see if we get it in the right spot. Check the other side. Try to have it be lined up. That seems pretty good. So it's still in the same spot. I'm going to move it in just a little bit there. Okay. Yeah, and part of that, and that's just going to, yeah, that should be fine. It still seems like it's sticking on there. And if I need to, I can stick it on there again. And then this, my journaling is going to get added right on top of here. There we go. Okay, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Now, the other thing that I wanted to add on here is some sort of like Dear December. Dear December, maybe it would go up there. That I could kind of handwrite that on there. That would be something I could try. I could stamp Dear December, Dear December. That's also something that you could do in Photoshop before you print out your photo, is have it go along a line there. This is good. These are the kinds of things that I like to think through and kind of figure out what can I do on here that would be Dear December. Another thing I could do, let's see, what other pieces? Let's look and see. Let's look in the main kit and see if there was anything in there that I could add on to this one. Okay, so I pulled a couple things out here. I was looking at the little sentiments. These are so cute. I love these ones with the gold foil on the outside. And I was kind of thinking about one of those, like especially that taking time to reset, to prepare for the holidays. That's a good one. And then as I was going through the different pieces that I had in there, I have this, the So Much Joy transparency. And that was one of the, it's in the journaling card, the 4x6 specialty papers, I think is what it is. And so this one could be fun to go on top here. I'm kind of thinking that I'll just include it as a something that turns the page, right? Like a piece of it so that this will open up to the other side. What do you think about that? I like the idea of having another little flap. I pulled this one out too because I was like, okay, this one I could, cut out in a circle and have a third circle on there. But I'm kind of thinking that maybe I'll do just to make a little tab. What about one of these guys? These ones are a little bit too big. But I could use something like this that just says Dear December, or create my own that says Dear December, and I could put it on top of there. I think that one's just too big. But let's cut this to fit on here. I like that. I like and then that's going to go into that next page, which is the joy page. Okay, so I'm formatting this or setting it right between two of the holes in there, and I'm centering it between, let's see, between all of that, and then I'm just going to lay it down here. We're going to trim it. Just see that it's straight up and down for the most part. And I am going to trim that so that it is in the circle shape. So we'll just pull this off again because that's how we roll today. And let's get this guy right in here. And then we can trim around the outside edge. So, oh, this, you know what else this is going to do is it's going to give me, I could do a tab on here. I'm going to lay that back on the album. You know, a tab along the top here that's like Dear December. That would be kind of fun too. That would make another little interactive space. Okay, I'm going to punch the holes again. Okay, so now that can fit inside the album itself. Let's pull that back over here to make sure we have it in the right spot again. Okay, so this guy's going to go in like that. Which I like, obviously, how it goes into this other joy page. We've got lots of joy pages happening here. Okay, let's see if that should be right about the same place. Yeah, okay. All right, so we have this, and then we have this that's going to go over here. So that will go underneath. And then this can be opened up. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking, okay, so I could do like an Avery index tab along the top. I'm just going to look at the other tabs that we do have these guys. Like the captured, the memories. I'm still trying to figure out where I want to put Dear December. But I think that I want maybe the here and now. Let's see what this looks like. Like this. Okay, so that's cute. That gives it a little bit of something to turn. You could do it along the outside edge there too if you wanted to, but I think that that makes sense for me. All right, let's see. A couple other things. I wanted to see, I still want to get Dear December on here, and I still haven't adhered that other part down. Okay, I'm still in testing things out mode, which is sometimes how I operate, especially with this project. And I wanted to see, let's see if this worked. So I made the shape for the silhouette, which is a circle with a tab on it. Because what I'm wondering, what I would like to do, I'm still thinking about how to get Dear December on here. So I'm just exploring what are some other ways that this could happen. So I'm kind of thinking about what if so here's the shape that I cut. This is a piece of vellum. And things that I could do now are see how that can just fold over onto the back. You can see a tiny little bit of it, but what it'll end up being is this one will fold up, then this one will fold out to reveal the journaling there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. The other thing I did consider, and I still kind of am considering, is if I did some of this ribbon, I did stitch a little bit onto the tab there, but if I stitched this, you know, kind of around the edge there, I just kind of wondered what that would look like too, along the edge of this transparency, just differentiating a little bit more. Okay, so I really like this idea though, and on top of there, I could add something else. You know, this is where I wanted to say Dear December. Obviously, I'm not going to use this specific one, but I could use the 25 because I'm not using the 25 one in my actual thing, so maybe that I could use that and then just do Dear December on top of there. I think that would be perfect. Okay, so I did go ahead and run that through my printer. Basically what I did is I measured the size of the circle there, which is 1.5 inches. I printed that out, and then I laid this on top with some of the adhesive and then ran it through the printer again. So now I have a cute little title that can be custom and can go right on top of here, right? And we're doing 25 days, so that's why I'm using the number 25 on here. And I love that as like the middle of the circle. So that's going to be great. Then I have one other spot here on the inside. So what, maybe there's a tree, picture of the tree I could put on there. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere this on the back now. And that's going to be, I'll put a little bit of red line tape there. And if you don't have a silhouette, you could totally run that through, just print it out, cut out the template of that too. That would also work just fine. The template of the circle with the little thing, or you could just use a piece of washi tape or something like that too. But the idea is making it into a flip open. And remember that, you know, the ideas that I'm sharing here, this might not be specifically to what you do on your, you know, story number 1 or whatever, but these are just different ideas that you can use throughout the course of the month. I ended up going through some of the stickers that were included in our advent calendar this year and found one of these sticker sheets. It had a circle sticker of a wreath on it that worked perfect, and there was another little sticker on there that said, "Let your heart be light." So I went ahead and adhered that right on top of the other one that is on the inside of the vellum flap there. Okay, got it all on there now. I've got cute little opening. Those were from the advent calendar there. Maybe I'll put a little more adhesive right along the edge. And now I'm going to put adhesive onto the circle so that we can get it right down on there. I think I'll do some of this and then also put a little bit of red line tape on there. So one of the things that I like to remind people as I'm going through something like this is that I'm sharing lots of different ideas, right? Different things that you could choose to incorporate into your project or not. And when there are days like this where I've added on, right? Like I could have just stopped with just the photo and then just the words in the circle, but I decided to do a few other things. So those are the kinds of choices that we each get to make, right? What's going to make sense for the time you have on any particular day if you're doing this in the moment, or later on if you're like, oh, I really want to try that, or I love how that turned out, or, you know, all of those other things that could come up. Okay, so now we've got that guy on top. That turned out, I like that. I like the interactive stuff too, right? Especially if I'm not gonna have things in page protectors. So my last question to myself here is, do I want to add on the red ribbon? And I don't think that I do. I think I'm gonna go with this. So this will open up here and then it will also open up here. Let's put it in the album and just see what it looks like one more time. Okay, so now I'm able to put this right inside and I can add this guy here. So remember that this is the back side, right, of this. So here's my intro to story number 1. I have the front of the circle. I have embossed number 1. I have chipboard on top there. Got a couple of the chipboard stars that go across the page. So then when you turn this is actual story number 1 is right here now. And it will open like this, and then it will open like this, and then there is the story for today. I don't feel like I need to add any other embellishing on there. I have a lot of joy going on, as you can see, and that's fine. So my plan is then this page is going to get used for my second story, and I'm pretty sure that what I'm going to do tomorrow is going to involve cutting out this the O, the part of the O there that will then go into most likely a full page photo. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. This was a look at story number 1 in my December daily album for 2023. Let me know if you guys have any questions or things that you want to know about this particular story and how I put it together in the comments below, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.